Hi, I hope everyone had a really good Easter break and is ready to get back to work and finish this class off. So we only have 2 or 3 more weeks, so I wanted to make sure that everybody knew what you have to do to get this class over and done with. I'm assuming at this point that everybody has done all the body systems and the test and has done chapter 1 and the test, which was the online test. And I'm just going to go ahead and explain what needs to be done in chapter 5, 7, and 9 to finish off the class. I know you haven't done a test for chapter 3, but I am going to roll it into one big online test at the end, which I'm going to work on this week. So I should have it ready soon. Okay, so most people seem to have gotten on the Google Classroom, but if you haven't and you're not able to, we can keep trying to work on that, or you can just send me your stuff by email. I'm still checking the email every day. I have put up the PowerPoints for chapter 5, 7, and 9 onto the Google Classroom, so you can check those. Those should help you with the summary of each of those chapters. And well, 7 and 9 will. Chapter 5, I focus. It's nutrition across the lifespan, and I focused on the advertising to children. So you'll have to read that chapter a little bit more closely. These two are good summaries of the chapter. Plus, they have a lot of links and little video clips that might help you with understanding too. You can use them as you're doing the questions and the tests. Okay, so on Google Classroom, I have also posted your upcoming chapter questions, and those are there. If you can't find them, it's right here, and you can replay this and freeze your screen and write it down. Chapter 5, these questions 1, 4, 5, 6, and 9. For question 9, there's a number of different scenarios for different ages, and I only want you to choose 2 of them. Don't do them all. Chapter 7, page 257. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. And chapter 9 on page 334. That's question 1A and B, 2A, B, and C, 5A, 7A, and B. And that's all you need to do for that. And then the questions that are the worksheets that go with the chapters, I just want to go through those a little bit, if I can get those up here. I think it's this. Okay, so I am having these made into a fillable document, and I haven't got them back yet, but I should get them back early next week, hopefully. So you can, if you want them today or tomorrow, I can email them to you without being fillable. So the first one is from chapter 5, and it has to do with lifespan. So we've got 3 case studies. We've got a 6-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 22-year-old, and there's questions for these on the next page, the case study analysis. So in the first column, nutritional needs, you're going to have to consider what the textbook says about the nutritional needs of people in each of those age groups. And then in the chapter, it does talk about other factors that influence our food choice. And some of those could be social. So for example, you're going out to eat with your friends, so you might be pressured into eating foods that you wouldn't normally eat. Familial just means like what foods and what are the common types of foods or eating patterns in that particular family. And then cultural would be like a particular culturals, maybe food restrictions or preferences or something like that. So for each of these case studies, you're going to need to consider those things, and then you're going to get so say what they are, and then you're going to give advice. So this is going to be your own advice based on the person's nutritional needs for their age and what those other factors are. Okay, so you don't have much space, so it doesn't have to be long, but a few good sentences here. And remember, I am getting these made so that you can fill it in online and then return it. Okay, and then the next one is for chapter 7, and this is factors that contribute to nutrition-related illness and disease. So that starts on, I'm just looking it up here, that starts on page, second. Okay, that starts on page 246 of your textbook, and it talks about each one of these factors, so socioeconomic and geographic, busy schedules and stress, body shape, expectation. And then it gives you like a little box here, how this socioeconomic would contribute to the incident of illness. So things under this category that you might use, for example, is perhaps if a person is in a lower socioeconomic group, they wouldn't have necessarily the money to spend on healthy food, maybe, or they wouldn't have the access to exercise or sports clubs that other people might be able to afford to get into. So then I want you to brainstorm what are some possible solutions. So if a person didn't have access to fresh, healthy food, what might be a possible solution for them? I'm not going to give you an example because I want you to come up with those. And so do that for each one of these boxes here. And then the one for chapter 9 is in enhancing food security in Canada. And those approaches start on, give me, there's quite a few of them, and you can see you have quite a few boxes. And there is one for each. And my chapter. Okay, those start on page 317. So you've got, for example, it starts with community-supported agriculture and farmers market. So you'd put that here under the approach. And then what does that mean? And then what components of food security, accessibility, available, adequacy, or acceptability are those intended to address? There, you would have to go back to the beginning of the chapter, and those are on page 302, and it explains those. So what I'm going to do is maybe go through those a little bit with you here. Yes, there. Okay, so here it is, food security, accessibility, availability, adequacy, and acceptability. And you do have these on page 302, like I said. But they're very similar. So let's just make sure right now that you understand the difference. So accessibility, where it says all people should have physical and economic access to food, it means you have the ability to go to the store, get food, or you can grow it, or you can trade something for it, but you have access to food. Now, availability means maybe you can't afford to buy it, but still you should be able to have food available when you need it. And it doesn't, maybe you don't have economic access to it, but it should still be available to you. Adequacy, all people should be able to get enough nutritious food that has been grown and prepared safely in an environmentally sustainable manner. So it's not enough just to get food. It should also be nutritious. It should be prepared safely, and we should have a plan for having that food available to us into the future. And then the fourth one is acceptability. All people should be able to obtain food that meets their cultural preferences, so that they prefer to have, and their religious requirements and or dietary needs. So you're going to have to read about what are some different religious restrictions that people might have, as well as some people in different cultures just prefer to eat different foods. So that's something you're going to need to keep in mind. Okay, so when you go back into doing that sheet, whoops, they're gone way down here. You're going to have to say which one of those A's is the most important here. Which one would this be intended to address? If you think it's more than one, that's okay. You can say more than one. I think chances are they just want you to say one of them, but in some cases I've even thought, well, maybe there's more than one that is applicable. So go ahead, and if you think there's two, but you do need to say why, I guess. Um, and then once you get those questions done and these 3 worksheets done, that's really all that's going to be required of you. And like I said, you still have 2 to 3 weeks. And then the last thing will be, I wasn't really going to do a final exam, and this won't really be a final exam, but it's just, we usually do a small chapter quiz. So you've done a chapter quiz for the body systems and one for chapter 1. I'm just going to roll 3, 5, 7, and 9 together into one quizzes exam, quizzes online test. And of course, that is going to be, that's going to be, I was looking to see if I have quizzes open, but I don't. That's going to be open book. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that's everything. So if you're not sure what to do, you know what to do. You can email me, you can contact me on Facebook, however you want to do it. And if you just have a question about what it is you're supposed to do, you can just rewind this video and continue to watch it. So I will talk to you later. Have a great day. That's it.